I killed Nathan Hale. I had no choice. He was becoming one of them. He could have stopped me, but I think he wanted to die. At least that's what I keep telling myself.
Hello there, Server17 once again, introducing you to Chapter 10 in my Resistance 3 Superhuman difficulty video walkthrough. And this level is called The Hunt, and it's going to become ever so clear as to why it got that title, and it's because we're going to be going through these forested areas, taking on invisible snipers. And I know that sounds as enticing as it does dangerous, but it isn't too bad. There's a couple of sections that can be a little bit frustrating, but for the majority of it, it isn't too bad at all. And if your Deadeye is upgraded, I think, to level 2, I do believe it shows you the little reticles around the enemies if they're still alive. So if you get the first shot and you can't quite tell whether or not it's died, be it the death cry wasn't loud enough or you didn't see the big fountain of blood, fire again if that reticle is there, because it generally means they survived it. And on Superhuman, these sniper rifle dudes will kill you in maybe 3 shots. They are really damaging. You can tell when they're aiming at you because obviously there's a giant laser beam pointing at you, but even if you can't see the beam, your screen will fill up with red. It'll have a lovely little blinding effect on a certain part of the screen, and that tells you that there is a laser sight pointing at you and you do not want to be on the receiving end of that bullet, because they will push your shit in really quickly. But this first section, once you figure out where they are and you play it like a sneaky bastard, you can pretty much take them out very quickly, and you shouldn't have too much hassle from any of them. The one thing that makes this bit a little bit more bullshit is there is a dropship flying around, and it's kind of an ambient enemy where it will look for you, and if it sees you it will fire a barrage in your direction, but for the majority of the time it doesn't hurt you unless it's really lucky. So it's just one of those things where sometimes you'll get clipped, other times you won't, and I think this guy hits me so it'll see how quick they can be. Oh no, I missed. Does he get me? Oh no. I blew his face off, which was useful. But you'll notice a technique of hitting and running, which is as soon as you shoot your shot, make sure you're out of your scope and you're moving back into cover. The reason I do that is because the enemies get a shot off so quickly that you'll kill them sometimes and they'll still hit you, and there's no regenerating health like the other resistance was. So it's a case of you have to find a med pack, and on this area it can be a little bit challenging finding them, what with the other snipers that are always a threat and the airship that will dive bomb you, so you've just got to be as careful as you can. So I think he's just seen me, and the airship, there's a shop in the sky, we call it Alexandria. No, the airship, for God's sake, use your words, Chris, is he'll signpost whenever he starts to attack by the light will swing around and it'll make that really iconic noise, and it tells you that it knows where you are and it's shooting in your vicinity, so you need to try and get out of the area that you were spotted in. And to be completely honest, it just hit me then. It took off 1 bar of my life, which is not a lot of damage in the grand scheme of things, so I think it's more of a nuisance and more of a thing to stop you from taking your time and doing it all perfectly. I don't think it's that much of a legitimate threat. Everything else is, I'm losing my words again, goodness me, I need more caffeine. So prioritize the other enemies that will actually kill you over getting away from the airship, because you're okay running away from an enemy that barely hurts you, only to run into a sniper that will kill you. So I don't even know what that trophy is, but I will say one thing about the trophies, and they are really slow to pop up sometimes. You'll do something and then a minute later it'll be like, ping, you just did something nice. And it's just one of those really strange feelings, especially coming off the Xbox, which does have problems with the achievements popping up, but it's nowhere near as sluggish on the majority as it is with the trophies. That must be so frustrating if you're a trophy addict. But when you turn this corner, there's going to be a shield drone, and then I think there's going to be 3 chimeras. Luckily enough, there's a lot of the explosive pods, and this revolver is devastating against the normal chimera, so use it wisely. Oh, there we go. Just be careful, because you will... I mean, look at that. The guys tag you from some ridiculous range. Even if you're trying to move into cover, you'll still sometimes get hit. A good strategy with the revolver is to wait for that bar on the side of it to fill up before you detonate them, but it's not a must, it's not something you have to do, it's just something that will definitely make the most out of your ammo. It'll make every round efficient. And then once you've killed them, I do believe the rest of this cave is empty. I'll probably be proven wrong. Let's have a look. But you should always be tentative. You don't have to walk around every corner with your auger on, you know, making sure there's nobody around the corner. It's just a case of sometimes it pays dividends to be a little bit more, you know, a little bit calmer, a little bit more cool under pressure. So this bit outside is bullshit. Excuse me. The reason I say this is the enemies will kill you really quick. These are standard Chimera with assault rifles, and there's snipers, and there's the airships. So the best thing to do is be as aggressive as possible to get rid of as many of the normal Chimera as you can. The luxury here is the snipers can only hit you from certain vantage points, and if you stay down here, they can't hit you. So you can lure the rest of the Chimeran troops towards you, clean them up, and all you have to do then is counter-snipe. You will have absolutely no threat of being injured by standard Chimera because you'll have cleaned them all up. This little pass here has always got one guy on it, so be really careful of it, and don't move forward too quickly unless you're completely sure you've killed all the normal troops, because I've died a couple of times on this area thinking I was safe when I wasn't. I mean, just then, if I'd have moved forward, he would have railed me. Instead, he was creeping forward, and I still kind of got railed, but nowhere near to the extent of what it could have been. Do not shoot the snipers with the auger. It is a waste of auger ammo. It's just clean up everything you can, make sure nothing's sneaking up on you, and then when you're confident, take the snipers down. Obviously, right now, I've just been shot quite a lot, so one sniper bullet is going to kill me. I need to be super careful here. And this is where the hit and run technique of the sniper really comes into play. So right then I got hit, I don't know what by, but I have very low life. My screen is going into the death screen, and this is when you need to be spot on with what you're doing, because if you don't, you're just going to die. And if you can do the earlier area a little bit more effectively than I did and get shot a little better, get shot less and, you know, perform a little better, you will not have the issues that I have right now, where I have to make every shot count and I can't. Unfortunately, I can't make any mistakes, so I see him there, I pop out, I take my shot, I miss, I pop out again, the airship's shooting at me once again, being a goddamn nuisance. As you'll notice, it doesn't quite know where you are, so sometimes it'll just shoot randomly. I didn't know now whether or not if it did enough damage to kill me, so that's why I'm hiding. I believe it's a little bit weaker than the life I have. The snipers, however, they will kill me, so I need to be careful of them. So the first one's just gone down there. I can push up a little bit further. I think there's one more to my left. So you'll notice I'm hugging this rock as best I can so that the airship doesn't finish me off and so that no more snipers can get that cheeky shot that puts me down. So I see a laser sight there. I shoot the pods. I hear the scream, which means I've just hit something. But I don't think it killed him. Actually, I think it did kill him. There's just another sniper somewhere. So I shoot that pod. I get hit marks, but that guy did not die. One thing I've probably not mentioned enough is the death cry that a lot of the Chimera do, which tells you that they are dead. The only problem is, sometimes there's more than one Chimera near them, and you think that you've killed them, and you'll run forward, and another guy will run out. So you need to be ever so aware of your surroundings. And the strategy I use for this section is I've just got some life now, so I can play a little bit more carelessly. Not that I would ever implore you to do that. You should try and be as efficient as possible, because it'll just make your life easier. But as you push up here, the airship doesn't generally pose any more problems when you're on this area, this vantage point. But what will happen is there's a bunch of standard bullseye packing Chimera down there, and you need to kill them quickly or they will murder you. I think the sniper threat is over. All that is left is that the handful of Chimera troops and the airship that still hits you but doesn't do enough damage to pose a big problem. I'm still not going to risk it, because this is one of those games that if you push forward too quickly, you could run into something like an auger, like I seem to do all the bloody time, and he will kill you gladly and with a smile. So I just saw my reticle go red, so I know there's a Chimera. There's two, in fact, and I don't want to mess about because I know there's a checkpoint coming. So I hit them with the auger through the rock, and it makes that situation a hell of a lot easier. But what's going to happen here is we're going to move into this area, and do not go towards the open boarded area in front of this cave, because what will happen is it'll trigger the next wave of enemies. Instead, you want to walk around the outskirts of this region and pick up as much ammo and life as you can to try and stand a better chance in the fight that's coming up. Luckily enough, the conflict that we're about to get ourselves in is going to have a Ravager and a bunch of Chimera, but you can use the auger and you can be a real cheesy bastard like I'm about to show you, so that you don't put yourself in any danger and you come through this without a scrape. So there is a bunch of explosions on the front of the area. You'll notice there's a bunch of the robots, the sentries, that are going to look for you. When the sentries see you, they will go orange, and then they will run back, find a Chimera, and empower him with a shield. So what I like to do here is I see the Ravager running at me, I start hitting him with the Auger. You'll notice as well, for some reason the AI of the Ravager, as soon as he takes damage, he tends to stand still. I'm not I'm not too sure why he does it, or why he thinks it's gonna somehow make him a harder target or make him harder to kill. I couldn't answer that. But it definitely helps because they are one of the most annoying and dangerous enemies on the game. So the fact that he stands still and just lets you, bukkake his chin with bullets is definitely going to win you the battle in the end. So use this wood as cover, clean up all the drones, kill the random Chimera, and as you pull forward here out of this cave, out of this subterranean section, there's going to be a stack of just standard troops knocking about. So just finish them off with the marksman. And then as soon as you've killed them and you push forward, a dropship's going to turn up and now you can actually kill it. So we're going to be using the Wildfire rocket launcher to take it down, but that's going to be something for the next video. So make sure you run around here, ration all your equipment, make sure you get as much ammo back as you can, as much life back as you can. And don't get caught out when you're moving up near these trains thinking this is a quiet section, because when you get past this carriage, there is a ton of Chimera stood looking at you. There they are. I'm like, oh shit, don't shoot me. I do a lovely little bunny hop. And then luckily enough, if you have marksman ammo like I do, you can creep out of the cover of this carriage and you can just finish them off with some well-placed headshots. And the marksman is usually a one-hit kill on the face if you get all 3 bullets to hit them in the chin. It can be a little bit harder said than done because the Chimera do move and the recoil on the gun is a little bit of an upkick. But that's the end of the video, guys. I hope it helped and I will see you in the next one, so you take care now.